Deputy Ross Henderson. I don't know what I'm doing here. Whatever. The Henderson Chronicles. You know, I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you. Maybe it's just a way to lay my thoughts on the table so they didn't stay in my brain. Whatever it is, I hope it serves the right purpose. Don't even know who's going to be listening to these aside from me. Where do I even start? I suppose start from the beginning with being new in the city, and honestly, at this point though, I've been here a while and I still feel new. I still feel like I don't know everything. I still feel like I don't know anything, really. Still a lot of situations I find myself in that I'm having to think on my feet. I'm having to make it up as I go along, fake it till you make it, as it were. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. It might be a testament to how I work, but at the end of the day, I'd like to feel like I've got sure footing in this, especially this city. It's vibrant and it's volatile. There's no two ways about it. The city will keep you on your toes. And if you don't keep your footing, there's no telling what might trip you up next. It's a very different life. A very different lifestyle. Look, I have very little desires of the past. From when we used to run with the criminal gang and do the organised hits, honestly, there's very little desires of the past. Money holds less sway over me. Look, I like to earn, I like to have that cash in my pocket. That's not died away, it has to be said. I like having that financial security. I guess maybe that's something that I've, just is rubbed off on me from all those years running with them. Still got a bit of a need for speed though. I guess those old habits die hard. Often being the driver, designated driver that is, and then, rarely are you driving slowly, so, making sure you know how to lockpick a car, jump start an ignition, get from A to B in the fastest way possible. That's, those kind of habits die hard. Wish the past would die. I really do. I never expected it to catch up with me like this. Well, I didn't expect it to catch up with me at all, but especially not like this. Not with Lexi. Maybe I was a fool to think that I could outrun this. To outrun something like that. I guess catching a right hook to the jaw several times is maybe the best outcome I could have hoped for when it all came to it. When it all hit the fan, as it were. She's right to want nothing to do with me. I can't blame her for not even wanting me to explain. But I hope I can make amends. I hope she can see me in a different light. I'm trying as hard as possible to leave all of that behind. I think I'm doing a good job. I think this new shift has been easier to do than I thought. My only job is to be ready and available for her when she's ready and available. And being available, that's been something that's happened a lot. People seem to be giving me their trust and their respect very easily, and I find myself in very interesting situations of trust. If I think specifically of Carmilla, she's part of a gang. She's a higher up in the gang, and going into this, I thought crime is crime and that I treat all crime equal. I didn't want to show preference or favourites. I know Camilla's powerful, and I trust the lass. I really do. I feel like we've at least developed something of a bond. There's some respect. Maybe there's even a good friendship that's there being built. But when it comes down to it, can I look the other way? Should I look the other way? How can I be someone who serves and protects if I make exceptions? I don't want to make exceptions. I want to be trustworthy. I want to be reliable. Oh, maybe I'm just in my head. Maybe that's a bridge I'll have to cross later in life. I'm trying to develop my own sense of justice after the life I've led, and maybe that's very hypocritical of me, but when I think of injustice, I think back to the recent few weeks and how it felt to be on the other end of it all. That feeling of being robbed and held up at gunpoint, that feeling of being in a robbery and not being the one that was trying to take, but the one that was trying to save. It was a very different emotional experience, and it was quite something. Being held up, there was a sense of helplessness, having something taken from me, getting shot at by the very people, the very kinds of people that I used to run with. I felt this new sense of anger. I haven't felt that before, especially with the way it all went down and how little I felt I could do. I was angry. I really was. And having to step up to the plate as a role model, that was quite something, stepping in, and without the sheriff or the chief there, they just came this new sense of duty, this new sense of a need that had to be filled. Whether that was instinct or whether that was something that was genuinely a part of my character, I stepped up, and I felt in that moment people were looking for someone, looking to someone, and I could be that someone. I could be that person that would calm fears, that would be a leader, and it felt good. It gave me a sense of fulfillment that no amount of cash, no amount of jewels, no matter the size of the hit that we did, nothing we did in the past made me feel fulfilled. People looked to me and I could give them answers, or at very least comfort. I think that's my driving force. My driving force for my future goals even. I can't lie to myself. I've got my eyes set high. Deputy Sheriff. I know Angel is no longer in the position, and it helps. It gives my mind clarity to know that I've got a purpose. I've got an end goal in mind. Got some SWAT training that I want to do. Equip myself the best I can to serve and protect. If at the end of the day, if I'm honest with myself, no matter how this journey ends, no matter when it ends, I just want to make a difference. The right kind of difference. I want to be remembered for that difference. And that doesn't have to be one big action, Ross, you know that. Sometimes it's a culmination of multiple small actions that craft the legend you leave behind. Aye, lad, but we're not there yet. So until then, may the Henderson Chronicles continue.